Hey! It's a noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
I need y'all to pardon my coffee maker is making all of the noises this morning. BBN Jack first. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Let me arrange this real quick. I don't have to change everything. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. We had a couple of things to talk about today. First thing I want to do is this. We tried to have this show yesterday. I was having an issue with the internet, so there's no issue today. So we're doing all of the things just so we could be clear. So there's a couple of things that I want to say real quick, and I want to be clear on this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. We're going to be going over a lot of things that we've already spoken about because this is stuff that I told you what was going to happen. I have a real issue with, and I want to be clear about this because I get how somebody who might be a supporter of the Democratic Party might be like, yo, Jack, remove yourselves from that conversation. I need for the individuals who are the voters to remove yourselves from some of, not all, but some of the conversations that we have because they're not about you. I remember in 1990 when the crime bill was first being discussed. Guess what? I don't remember it. You want to know why? Because around the time that this was happening, there was a big scandal in the White House. Why am I bringing this up? People are like, why are you bringing up the scandal in the White House? Why are you bringing up all of these things in the basic climate that we have right now? Because the Democrats have been being not very truthful with us. And in the 90s, I was a supporter of the Democratic Party. And during the time that I was supporting the Democratic Party, they did the crime bill, which I have an immense issue with, and I think anyone should have an issue with. It was propagated with the intended purpose. It was created with the intended purpose of imprisoning the underprivileged youth, not just black people or people of color, but the youth specifically. Now, when you think about how they're arresting 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and then they're putting them in prison for 20 and 30 years over things now that if you was in New York City, they wouldn't even stop you for. This is the Democratic Party. This is the party that we're told we have no choice but to vote for. This is the party we're told that since we're black people, they're on our side and the Republicans hate us. This is that party. So now let's talk about tariffs. I get that people don't understand how tariffs work. I'm going to explain it one more time. Probably a ton of more times after this. But I'm going to explain it again right now so we can get into this conversation with at least a rudimentary understanding of where I'm coming from. So basically, you have a country over here or a business, and they create all of their product in a country other than America. So they create their product over here. This is America. Then they ship their product to America. So forget whatever tariffs they were or were not paying. They're shipping their tariffs to America. So now America is saying, well, you know what? You don't own any factories on our land. You don't employ any of our people. You shouldn't benefit from our economy. So what we're going to do is we're going to put tariffs on your goods so the companies that produce their products in America can do a better price point than you can, thus making their product more affordable. Get it? So if you put tariffs on said country over here, and that country says, or product, and that product says we're going to pass it on to the consumer, that actually benefits the American company or the products that are made in America, where the Americans are the people making the product, the people supplying the product, the people transporting the product, the people supporting their families from working for these companies. The Americans are benefiting. So the point I'm trying to make is there is no freaking company that wants to have a product sold in America that is going to mark their prices up 100% because tariffs went up. You know what they're going to do? Because I'm going to be told I'm wrong. You know, people love saying stuff like that, but this is what they're going to. First, let's get hear a conversation from a co-founder of Home Depot, because there's people that are saying I'm wrong about what I'm saying, right? So hold on, co-founder of Home Depot. Let's talk about what he thinks about some of the things going on real quick. Check this out.
Look, let me tell you right now, I am sold on Trump. In fact, I'll say this. I think he's got a good shot at going down in history as one of our best presidents ever.
That is a real turnaround because you didn't want to vote for him.
I tell you the reason. I want to tell you, I'm a believer. What I'm seeing happening is absolutely nothing short of a great thing. And there's a beat. People are walking with more bounce in there. It's all around.
I gave you quite a bit of grief.
Huh?
I gave you grief.
You give me grief?
I gave you grief when it was a binary choice. You're still complaining about Trump and it was a binary choice. It's like, are you kidding me?
Knowledge implies one thing. When you made a mistake, admit it.
Okay.
I think this guy is turning out to be a president.
Right.
One of the pilots on that miraculous trip to Iran that we wiped out, whatever the hell we wiped out.
Right.
He said, you're the only guy that in the presidency that would have done what you did. One of the pilots said that.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's probably right.
So, me, just a content creator from the Bronx, currently living in Brooklyn. Before Trump became president, I told you all of the ways that the tariffs was going to benefit us. I was told I was wrong. I had people in the comment section saying I don't know what I'm talking about. I had people that made videos about me talking about I'm crazy. Then why did everything that I say was going to happen? Now I'm about to show you something that is bigger, actually, just so we can be clear, than people understand it to be. And that's this. Pay attention.
Those things are 750 billion, 600 billion, opening up the country. We are agreeing that the tariff straight across for automobiles and everything else will be a straight across tariff of 15%. So we have a tariff of 15%. We have the opening up of all of the European countries, which I think I could say were essentially closed. I mean, you weren't exactly taking our autos, you weren't exactly taking our agriculture, and then you would have smaller things, but for the most part it was closed. And now it's open. It's open for our companies to go in and do a good job with it. I think you'll like them. I think you'll like it. And we will, very importantly, they'll be investing a lot of money, but the military is a big number, but that's one number we're not determining. It's going to be whatever it is, but they're going to be purchasing hundreds of billions of dollars worth of military equipment. They're very important. They're going to purchase $750 billion worth of energy. So that's going to be great. And $600 billion worth of investments into the United States over and above what they have. So, and I think that basically concludes the deal. I mean, those are the main factors. I don't think there are too many other factors, other than we're going to get along great. And we have a great relationship now with NATO, which is largely the same. I mean, not exactly, but pretty close, right? Largely. And with NATO, as you know, they're going up to 5% from 2%. And the relationship is very strong with NATO. So I just want to congratulate you. I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games and maybe not making a deal at all. I think it's, I'm going to let you say, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Democrats want you to think about the Epstein list. Trump is out here fixing the American economy, and not just fixing the American economy, but fixing the global economy. Trump is out here getting our money out of the pockets of other countries, not just other companies. You're out here worried about the Epstein list, who Trump isn't on, by the way, in any real way. How do we know Trump isn't on it in any real way? The people that was actually the lawyer for Epstein said that Trump was the only one that was helping him with the investigation. Epstein wasn't allowed at Trump Mar-a-Lago. You want to know why Epstein wasn't allowed at Mar-a-Lago? Because fucking Epstein, part of my language, went and got one of them girls that worked at Mar-a-Lago and took her to his estate. So after that, he wasn't allowed to work there no more. When they asked Trump about it, though, he was pretty smooth with it, though. And he was just like, because he took one of my employees, and you don't do that. You don't hire from me. But that's really what happened, because I remember when the story dropped. So while the Democrats out here trying to say Epstein, do you understand what their thing is? Their thing is to lie about something so you're not paying attention to whatever's important. So they just lie about something else and try to make it seem like the other thing is more important than the actual important thing. That's it. That's all the Democrats do. That's it. So now they're lying about Trump possibly being on the Epstein list, which he isn't. Once again, I'll tell you the story. So what happened was Epstein was told he could never come back to Mar-a-Lago. And the reason why is because one of the young girls that worked there, he got the young girl to go back to one of his estates and he did whatever to her. Trump found out about it and banned him. And they ain't been cool ever since. Now I'm going to say something to you. I want you to understand what they were doing. They were trying Trump. See, now if Trump don't do anything, or if Trump keep dealing with dude, then Trump on their team. They were trying him. They were trying to get him on board. That's what that was about. Pay attention to when people offer you shit. So they want y'all to pay attention to this Epstein list because Trump is literally fixing the economy. Do y'all remember the thing that I told y'all before Trump became president? I said, yo, the real reason why Trump want to do tariffs is this. Pay attention. Listen and pay attention. This is the real reason. Trump wants to take the money from other countries and give it to the American people. That's why he does not want all of these people coming into the country also right now. I'm going to say this again. Trump wants to make this tariff money so much of a surplus that he starts giving checks to the American people. There's going to be some foolish Democrats like, yo, Trump would never do that. Why would Trump do that? He a rich billionaire. He would never do that. Do you understand what America's real power is? Yes, we have the most dynamic military in the history of militaries. Yes, absolutely. So boom. But do you want to know where our actual power is? What the military is protecting? The citizens of America. For real, for real. You want to know why? Because we have the strongest economy on the planet, and every other country is fighting to get into our economy, or they should be. If China has the most people on the planet, then why are they trying to sell all of their goods in America? I explain this often. I'm going to explain this once again. This is how economies work. You got a town over here and you got a town over here. This town over here has all of the stuff, all of the goods. This town over here has nothing. They just have random shit and random people. Everybody in this town works outside of this town. This town right here, everybody goes to spend their money. Whose economy do you think is better? The people that's out here all working outside of their town, going somewhere else, working, and then going and spending all of their money in this economy, or this economy, what has everything already inside of it. So they don't have to go outside to spend money. So what does China do? China doesn't really sell their goods to their people. That's a communist society. They're communists. The government already owns everything almost in China. You do understand this, right? It's a communist society. They call it socialism, but it's communism. If the government owns the businesses, that's communism. If you're not allowed to have personal property, that's communism. So China sells their products in America. Why? Because then that makes the money from America go over to China. Then China doesn't spend that money back in America. So that money stays over there. What up, Rap Tabs? So that money stays over there. So when Trump is creating tariffs, Trump is causing for other countries to take their money, either spend their money to sell their products in America, which nobody is then going to buy because they're going to have to be marked up at such a high price, or take their money, build factories in America, employ Americans, create their product in America. So therefore, there's a reciprocal freaking foundation of how the money is being disseminated amongst actual Americans, rather than Americans buying the product and then sending the money overseas. I do not understand how Democrats don't understand that. I very thoroughly explained why the tariffs work and why they should have always worked, and why it made no sense why people thought that the tariffs would not work. I think I very thoroughly explained that. I think that it doesn't make any sense how people thought that the tariffs were not gonna work. Do you understand how many countries America cannot sell products in because the tariffs on us is too high? Do y'all even understand that? How many countries, their tariffs is so high against American goods that they can't even sell their products over there? You know how many countries? I don't see y'all fighting those countries. For everybody that don't get it, because America can't sell our products in other countries and we can only sell it to Americans. That makes our businesses grow slower. So that's why the biggest businesses in the world are all Chinese, Japanese, like, you understand? From some foreign country. The biggest, Germany, biggest, because we can't even, I think in Germany, I don't even think we could, I think there's like countries over there where when they ship their cars over here, like they pay like no tariffs, but when we ship them over there, like the tariffs is bananas. And y'all upset that Trump is trying to make it fair. So I need an explanation. I need an explanation. They had a situation recently where an individual went into a building in New York City, and there was a, let's talk about this real quick. Hold on. Let me bring your screen up for y'all. There we go. It was, yeah, I'll be on that side. I'll be in that corner. So there was a situation, I gotta get my keyboard. I'll be getting it out of my way. It just be in my way. I'll be doing this stuff. Something like that, right? I've got all caps on. Let's get ABC News real quick. Let's start with this one. So for everybody that don't know, there was a situation where 4 people were unalived, including an off-duty NYPD officer, Midtown. Let's see what they got to say.
I'm sorry that you had to endure this today. Can you give us a sense of what you observed? I want to bring in Jessica Chen. She was inside the building when this all played out. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry that you had to endure this today. Can you give us a sense of what you observed?
Yeah, I was part of a room of about 150 people watching a presentation on the second floor large conference room. We heard multiple shots go off in quick succession from the first floor, and a lot of us just rushed into the room. Some went out in the back door, out onto the street. Other people, including me, we ran into the conference room and then eventually barricaded the tables across the doors and just stayed still. I think it was very, very apparent through all this that a lot of us were young. A lot of us went through training in elementary school of what to do in an active shooter situation. We were all, unfortunately, prepared. People called the police. There was somebody who had a direct line with the police, updating them. The police, I think, skipped our floor and kept going up to follow the shooter because they heard that the shooter was going upstairs towards the 33rd. So we didn't get let out until a bit later, but it was very apparent that there was a lot of gun awareness among the room of 100 people still there.
And so what did police tell you?
They told us to stay in, and we were in constant communication about what signals they might give us. Even though they were suspecting that a shooter has gone further upstairs, we were also on Twitter, on apps. There was another rumored shooter out in the garden, so they wanted to stay inside. It was generally very unsure. A lot of us were just scrolling Twitter feeds to get better understanding of the situation. We also heard about the profile of the shooter, though we had no visibility on anything at all.
Give us a sense of that time that you spent sheltering in place.
I think all of us were on our phones. A lot of the people who worked in the company, I think if they were better understanding of the floor layout plan, they knew there was a back exit. The people inside, we were hiding behind the large monitor. A lot of people were on the ground. We flipped a lot of the tables up. A lot of people were along the windows. Some people, if they were a bit later getting there, they really unfortunately had to just pull curtains over themselves. And we were just shushing each other, trying to telephone information as best we could, and really trying to tell each other, like, stay calm as much as possible.
Were you reaching out to loved ones?
Yeah, for sure. I texted my parents.
Very happy that the young lady is okay. Let's hear right about the story. 27-year-old man wearing body armor and carrying a high-powered M4 rifle shot and killed 4 people, including an off-duty police officer working security in a Midtown Manhattan office building, officials said during a press conference Monday evening. A 5th victim was left critically injured in the shooting, officials said. The incident occurred just before 6:30 p.m. in a building located at 345 Park Avenue, 52nd Street, which contains the headquarters for the investment company Blackstone and the National Football League, sources told ABC News. It is unclear if those companies or any company in the building were tied to the shooting. After apparently barricading himself on the 33rd floor, the suspect, who was identified as Las Vegas resident Shane Devon Tamura, was found unalive from what is believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to New York City Police Department Commissioner Jessica Tisch. During a press conference on Monday evening, Tisch said preliminary information suggests that the suspect traveled cross-country by car from Las Vegas before arriving in New York City. Tamura had a license to carry a concealed weapon in the state of Nevada. We believe this to be a lone shooter, Tisch said. The man emerged from a double-parked BMW in the front of the office building and entered the lobby alone and immediately opened fire during the NYPD officer sprayed the lobby with bullets, Tisch said. He made his way to the elevator bank where he shot a security guard, Tisch said. He then went up to the 33rd floor where he shot another person before shooting himself in the chest, she added. Officers searched the suspect's vehicle before the shooting, where they found a rifle case with rounds, loaded revolver, ammunition, and magazines. A backpack and medication prescribed to Mr. Tamura, Tisch said. The motive is currently under investigation. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino said earlier on Monday. A witness inside the Midtown office building at the time of the shooting detailed to ABC News what was like at the scene as colleagues hid in lockdown, unsure of what is unfolding. I want to apologize to y'all. I'm literally envisioning something else while I'm reading. I'm thinking of jokes in any regard. Not about this, though. Definitely not about this. We heard multiple shots go off in a quick succession from the first floor, and a lot of us just rushed into the room, Jessica Chin said, adding that she was on the second floor of the building watching the presentation with about 150 other people when the shooting started. Some went out of the back door, out into the street. Other people, including me, who ran into the conference room and was eventually barricaded by the test. So dude just walked in the building with that right there. Sheesh. We're going through a real problem in America right now. And a lot of it has to deal with mental health. Shout out to Nick the Slick. And that's another reason why I have issue with the Democratic Party. Because they embrace so many things that I think lead to the degradation of society. They embrace so many things that I think encourages our society to fall. And it's all petty. Like, every time I hear why the Democrats don't want to do something, it's for a petty-ass reason. Like, do they really want... No disrespect to anybody that is a transgender individual. You have your own battles that you're going through. You're a human being, and I see you as one. And I'm not here to speak down on you. But I just want to say something real quick, and I want to be clear about this. To treat our politics like transgender people are anything more than maybe 0.0 a number percentage of people in America is insane. To say that we're going to go take a demographic who is a small number of people, an extremely small number of people, and then force everyone else to live by their guidelines, that's worse than what they accuse the elites of doing. At least the elites have money and power. These people just got guilt and shame. But stuff like that, not the transgenders, I'm not blaming them on this absolute insanity. There was a lady that was in front of the building that said somebody came out wearing the thing, started saying death to America, or I don't believe her. I think she lying. I'm not one of these anti-Muslim people. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for the Muslim hate. We're not doing it. I'm not here for the Muslim hate. I'm not here for the Jewish hate. I'm not here for the white hate. I'm not here for the black hate. I'm not here for none of the hate. All right? So I don't care. I'd rather you just do the thing to try to destroy me than I bend the knee to whatever that is that you're trying to get me to bend the knee to. Just so we could be clear. The second part of the title was, will the Democrats ever admit being wrong? I want to say something. I want to be clear about this. Chuck Schumer's still going on about how the tariffs are hurting our economy. Why do y'all vote for this guy? The economy is doing so good that you got billionaires that don't even know what to do. The economy is doing so good. You do know that's one of the real reasons why I believe that Elon Musk backed away from Doge. They met their line. Like the thing they was trying to meet, they met it just quicker than they thought they were gonna. So Elon Musk went back to work for his company because he still got work to do at his companies. That's what I think happened. I think they met their goal so quickly, quicker than they thought they were gonna. That's what I think happened. That's what I think happened. I think other things also, I just think that factored into it. I think they just met their goal. The Democrats are going to have such a hard time getting elected. I need for y'all to understand this. Every single thing that the Democrats said was going to be bad for us has been good. There's not enough people in America that hate Donald Trump to help y'all get elected. You have to go a different route. I'm going to tell you one of the funniest things that happened. Not funniest, but ironic, I guess, or just interesting. So I had a friend, and he's from Arizona. So Donald Trump won the first election, and he lost the second election. And one of the things that dude said is that he don't really care for Donald Trump. But when Donald Trump was a president, his 401k went through the roof. So Donald Trump, during his first presidency, was helping people get rich. Now I'm going to explain the whole thing I was trying to tell y'all earlier. Donald Trump needs the American people to have money. He needs for us to have not just money, but disposable income. Our power that we have as a country isn't just our military, but the thing our military is actually protecting, which is the people, our spending power. That's the real power that America has. We have a ton of people here that just have no sense when it comes to financial literacy. And I'm being so honest. So we'll just spend our money on anything. We spend a disproportionate percentage of our money on entertainment. Probably more than most countries on the planet. Nevertheless, first world countries. That's America's real power. So what happens is the more money Donald Trump puts back into the pockets of the American people, the more shit he could talk to other nations. So every time other nations hear, we're going to get a stimulus check, we're going to get a rebate, we're going to get any kind of money back, to them, that's like Donald Trump is putting billions of dollars into their economy. We want to get a piece of that. We want our products in that market. So instead of now the American government sending hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars to other countries, all they have to do is give it to the American people, and those other countries will fight to sell their products in America. Where's my phone? I just heard. Oh, sheesh. So, one of my favorite classes that I've ever taken in college had to deal with some business management courses I was in. So, a lot of times I'm having these conversations with people, especially when we're talking about business specifically, and they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I say, well, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was in college. And I was in Bronx Community College. And while I was at this school, I took up business management. That was one of my majors, right? So what I did do was I took that information that I acquired in real time in school, and I went home to my father's business and gave them ideas. Every idea that I gave them that they did worked. So when I'm having a conversation with you about business, this is because this is literally something that I've been studying like my whole life. I thought at one point that I would have the unenviable position of inheriting my father's company, which I absolutely never really wanted to do. That's not a responsibility I wanted. But I thought that I was going to have no choice because I was the youngest son. Not something I wanted to do, though. I promise you. So I say all that to say this. I want to remind y'all about when I tell y'all the Democrats need us to be poor and broke. The Democrats need us to need assistance. The Democrats need us begging for help. This is something that they need. They have no other metrics to be elected on other than the government is bad except for us. When the Republicans try to get elected, they have a whole PowerPoint. We trying to save money. This is how we trying to do it. We trying to get the illegal criminals out of the country. But, you know, there's so many of them, we probably going to have to kick some illegals out the country that ain't even criminals. But it is what it is at this point. Blame Obama. They put all of this stuff in a PowerPoint. And then they present it to the world. All the Democrats do is tell you about how racist the Republicans are. You got to hate Donald Trump. There's no difference between a boy could be a girl and a girl could be a boy. Those 60,000 children being missing, I don't even, or however that number is, 32,000. I don't even know where to begin with that. Tens of thousands of children missing. And then they had a hotline. No, wait, hold on. Just so we could be clear, it's like 60,000 children. And they gave all of these children a phone number that if something goes wrong, call the phone number. The phone number had 32,000 calls. Guess how many people they had guarding the phone lines? Guess how many calls was looked up? Guess where they was sending these kids? Some of them was being sent to strip clubs. Some of them wasn't even being, they were just being sent to addresses that when you go to the address, it's like a vacant lot. Biden administration. So, I don't know what to tell you. This shit is crazy. I'm gonna tell you the most. What time we got? I'm gonna tell you the most bananas things. I usually been I've been trying to make it outside like 9:30 every morning to go to the park, shoot around. Probably if there's some kids out there, I work with them or whatever. But we got to change our schedule up. We got to get these morning shows going, and we got to get these tonight shows going, and we got to get our regular videos going. And so I got to get motivated back into doing this shit. You know, it's like I got to get motivated back into doing this. So I got to put all the other stuff. I have to get that stuff going too, because that's just stuff that I like doing. I love going outside. I like, you know, doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. I like going outside part. I'm gonna rephrase that. I like being around sensible people. So, period. I just like being around sensible people. So whenever there's like irrational shit, my brain don't. Whenever somebody is trying to give me something that isn't logical, it don't work for me. So therefore, I just try to never speak to them again. I'm just being honest with you. Once somebody let's get back to what we talking about though. But yeah, I'm like that. When somebody tries to like, that's why I don't think people be understanding what they be doing when they be talking to me sometimes. And they be just saying like crazy shit. Like they be trying to manipulate me, but they be saying like crazy shit trying to manipulate me. I don't think they really get. And I'll be sitting there like, damn, man, I can never be your friend again. That's what I be thinking with the big smile on my face. Damn, man, this is the last conversation we gonna have. Sheesh, too bad. You was cool. Right while they sitting there trying to manipulate me with a lie. Be like, shit, this nigga trying it. And he know I'm smart. I shouldn't have act like, you know what? I shouldn't have act like I didn't see the other bullshit. Because I liked the person. I let them get away with the other bullshit. Because there was some other shit that I didn't think that was important. I just let that slide. Maybe if I didn't let any of those things slide, we would still be friends. That's how I look at it sometimes. Because sometimes you just let shit slide because you don't think it's important. Like they threatened my life last night. They had some dude like try to like ride like dumb close to me and like cut me off with a bike while they had like another dude standing behind me. Like it was like not like directly behind me. It was about 15, 20 feet back. But like it was like some weird shit. So I think he was pointing the guy out to the other niggas down Mermaid, like who to kill. That's what I think was happening. Just to be honest with you. That's what I think was happening. So I'm about to remember, I just told you the streets. That's where to look for these niggas. Right when I disappear. Don't worry, Crips. Don't worry. That's where you go look for them. Get them all. Even the kids. Everybody involved. I don't care if they 6 months old. Send them to jail too. Anyway, let's get back to what we talking about. I have all types of people that watch my page. Like all types. And some of them actually care about me. I have a ton of, from all different fields of employment, from all different fields of people. I have a lot of people that watch me. And some people actually like me and think that I'm a benefit to society. Some of these people, when I go missing, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be happy. They're gonna just go back to this video. Go back to get all of them, every last one of them. We going on 10 o'clock. Is there anything else I want to talk to y'all about? I mean, we went over the tariffs. There's not really much else that I really wanted to discuss.
I can tell you that.
So, I found this interesting. And that is, I need for y'all guys to stop with the free Gaza. I need y'all to be more specific. Who are we freeing Gaza from? Because I'm not over there. So I don't specifically know who the people of Gaza need to be freed from. One side is telling me they need to be freed from Hamas. The other side is telling me they need to be freed from Israel. I don't know who they need to be freed from. I need for people, when they say free Hamas, to be more, free Gaza, to be more specific. From who? This is why I keep telling y'all, stop getting involved with these wars that's happening in other countries that we don't know nothing about. I think it was Denmark. Hold on, let me show you something. So Africa's mad. Nigeria says it won't accept U.S. deportees. Copy. I mean, are we trying to go to Nigeria? But this is the crazy part. I said foreign nations praise, and look what Google gave me. Let me put a specific country in and see what happened. No, because you gave me the wrong shit. Out of here. Oh, BBC ain't shit. We're not reading nothing from the BBC. Wait, no. I think Denmark, images of sleek and possibly chic Copenhagen, the capital, might spring to mind, as well as a sense of liberal, open society. This is the Scandinavian cliche. But when it comes to immigration, Denmark has taken a dramatically different turn. The country is now a pioneer in restrictive migration policies. In Europe, according to Mary Seinberg, a director of the Center of Advanced Migration Studies, AMIS, at the University of Copenhagen, both when it comes to asylum seeking and economic migrants looking to work in Denmark, even more surprisingly perhaps, is who is behind the drive. Is generally assumed far-right politicians are gaining in strength according to Europe on the back of migration fears, but that's far from the full picture. In Denmark and in Spain, which is tackling the issue in very different but no less radical ways by pushing for more, not less, immigration, the politicians taking the migrations bull by the horn now come from the center left of politics. How come? And can't the rest of Europe, including the UK's Labour government, learn from them? Migration is a top-tier priority across Europe. We live in really unsettling times as war rages in Ukraine. Russia is waging hybrid warfare such as cyber attacks across much of the continent. Government talks about spending more on defense while most European economies are sputtering. Voters worry about the cost of living, and into this maelstrom of anxieties comes certain concern about migration. But in Denmark, the issue runs much deeper and longer. Are y'all going to tell me what's happening? I hate the BBC. Trump canceled the meeting because she refuses. I don't know how true this is, but hold on. This happened in 2019. Hold on. You gotta be shitting me. This says 2019. Yesterday, President Trump canceled a meeting with the new Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen because she refuses to discuss the sale of Greenland. Your man Trump. How can you hate this guy and be American? Pardon me, let me flip that around. How can you be American and hate this guy? He's been trying to buy Trump. He's been trying to buy Greenland since then. Oh, man, that's too much. That's just too much. They're not going to even show you. Look, you can't even find that other countries. I got it on my phone somewhere. I'm going to find it and show it to y'all probably tomorrow. But you can't even find on other countries how they are praising Trump for his deportation policies. You can't even find it online. That's crazy. They just blocked it out. Look. Look. Google. They're giving me shit I'm not even asking for just to prevent me from getting the thing that I want. That's crazy. This is how you socially engineer fools. You can't even find it. They just erased it. It happened, but they just erased it. You can't even find it. You can't even find it. They just erased it. That's bananas. I'm so sweating. Look at me in here. It's so fucking hot. This is bananas. I'm gonna let y'all go. It's just too hot in here. I need like all of the ACs. I be taking like 3 showers a day, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It'd be too hot. With that being said, hey, look, I love y'all. We gonna get up out of here only because I'm fucking burning up at this point. I gotta take my clothes off or take a shower, put clothes on. I don't know what to do, but it's just way too hot in here right now. I'm sweating like crazy. Look at this shit. Ain't nobody got time for this, man. Look at that. Look like I got out the pool. With that being said, yo, look, I love y'all. Go out there in the world, do some things. And I want to be clear about this. You cannot be a lover of God and support some of these things that the Democrats are supporting. And that's like the number one reason why we talk politics. I want to save our people. You cannot call yourself, if you're a Christian, you cannot call yourself a Christian and be for these policies. You just can't. Like, no Christian faith. You just can't. This is really a fight for all people's souls. They got y'all voting for things that God hates. Like, you just signing your name on a dotted line. The shit God don't like. We gotta be mindful. Somebody tell me they're pro taking everybody's property and giving it to the government and the government being in charge of everybody's property. That's communism. That's what Mandani wants to do. How you gonna be fruitful and prosper when the government take all of your shit? God wants us to be happy. I keep trying to tell you, people that come around and try to steal other people's happiness, they work for Satan. God would never try to steal your happiness. Never. When you see a person gossiping about somebody else, and just so we could be clear, you could be talking good behind somebody's back. I don't know if we're calling that gossiping or what. But whenever you see somebody saying something negative to somebody in order to get them to respond or act negatively, that's Satan. You know how many people I don't like, but when I come across them, I don't say nothing. I don't like these rap bastards at all. Like that, I just don't say nothing. Some of them I don't like, and I just might just give them the head nod to say what's up. I don't like these niggas. And it's not because they did anything to me. It's because of what they're doing to the people that they got charge over. People could look at your kids and tell what kind of abuse you're giving your kids. That's the part people don't realize. We could tell you neglecting that child. We could tell you be beating that child. We could tell you curse at your child. We could tell that child lives in hell when they go home. I'm going to let y'all go. Everybody, have a blessed day. Go out there into the world. Just go do something worth doing. Even if the people don't appreciate it, go do it. Stamp God's name on it. Let them know that you came in the name of the Most High. Let's see what our word is for today. I have John 8:12. It says, Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Our verse of the day is from King James Version. John 8:12, King James Version. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Amen. Everybody go out there into the world. Go do stuff worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. Let people know that you come in the name of the Most High. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Boomers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one.
Hey! It's the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.